May I remind you that trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you can't afford to lose. Welcome to QuantBox Daily. Today is Tuesday, March 28th. What is QuantBox? QuantBox is your global macroeconomic Quant-in-a-Box. It's a fundamental tool that gives you a fundamental bias across all the different asset classes that you could possibly want to trade. And a one-week trial is just $7.90. Here we are. So here's our dashboard. The score chart summary gives us a list of all the currency pairs that QuantBox covers. As you can see, over here's a signal. That's really a bias, actually. It's not a signal saying you must buy this now. It's just simply saying that right now USD ZAR fundamentally is very bullish. And USD CAD, the same. Gold is just bullish, not very bullish, but just bullish. And Kiwi CAD is just bullish. Here are your neutrals, okay? Just this score chart summary saves you so much time. Because now you wouldn't go and spend time looking at these neutral pairs because they're neutral. It means strong versus strong or weak versus weak. At the bottom here, you've got a whole bunch of cells. These are strong cells, i.e. very bearish. And these cells over here are just bearish. What we do now is we go and take the first one. We look at our charts, match it up technically. That's all good. Another thing you could do is look at your market heat map. And then check to see which currency pairs are currently most bullish or most bearish, and then match that up with your different currency pairs over here on the left. Okay. But really and truly, the score chart summary is very, very simple. Now, of course, if you're tracking something on a particular currency pair, like let's say, for example, you're looking at a neutral pair. Let's go back to our score chart summary. Let's look at Euro Kiwi. So Euro Kiwi, for example. Okay. You can see what's causing it to be neutral. So you can see here, you've got a lot of green and a lot of red, right? So COT is currently saying bullish. Seasonality is saying bearish, okay? Trend reading is saying bullish, but you've got a whole bunch of fundamental bearish reasons here. That's what's going to cause the problem with regards to trading this currency pair. Currently, there are a number of reasons as to why that's being bought, but there's a lot of stuff that could change it. So this situation here, you could say, okay, I've got red on inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, as well as seasonality. When do I start seeing a change in COT data? And then when do I start seeing a change in trend reading? Okay. You might also look at the chart. For example, let's look at Euro Kiwi right now. So we can go look there and say, fundamentally, I've got lots of fundamental reasons why this should be going in the opposite direction. But right now, I've got the market currently buying it. Let's go take a look at Euro Kiwi. So, jumping in Euro Kiwi daily chart, look at that. All the way up here to profit-taking zone. You've currently got lots of reason to see why you'd want to sell Euro Kiwi, but your COT data says bullish. That could change. That could change this Friday, okay? Your trend reading, of course, follows the market's trend, so that could change immediately as well. That means you could looking at Euro Kiwi and saying, okay, am I going to start getting bearish on this? Am I going to start seeing opportunities to sell? And you could block it in like this. You could say, okay, well, what happens if this breaks? Lower low, lower high. Could I sell that? Interesting, right? Now you can do that for all the neutral pairs that you've got in your score chart summary. And so let's go this one here. Over here, and there's quite a few of them. Okay. Go and have a look and see what that pair is saying. Let's go look at EuroCAD, for example. EuroCAD right now it's also neutral. And you can see here, same story, right? Mostly caused by COT data and trend reading, okay? So if you see this and you say, well, there's lots of fundamental reason why it should be bearish, but it's currently bullish, it's because the market's currently buying. But could that change? Just go look and see EuroCAD. Look at that. Profit-taking zone. What if we suddenly start seeing lower lows and lower highs in this? Or price came off this 55 and it formed something up here. You know, when I see a price break a 55, I then expect double top. Price is coming off of 55. That could be price just coming off a moving average on a higher time frame. But what if it comes up, fails to make a higher high, consolidates, blah, 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 eventually lower low, lower high. And then suddenly you look back at your QuantBox a few days or weeks later, and this is now bearish. And you could have been there right at the beginning, taking the opportunity, right? So it's more than just look. I know in this session, I usually just go score chart summary, go through the list, or market heat map, go through the list and show you the pairs. That's because I've got very little time to do this webinar, but you can see how much more detailed it can be, okay? So don't just ignore these neutrals. Definitely pay attention to what you're looking to see that'll tip it in a bullish or bearish direction. Okay, cool. So strong buy, USD ZAR, let's take a look. Now, USD ZAR, sitting over here, currently in range, as you can see. Okay. Just like yesterday, we spoke about all these pairs that were ranging. This one's currently in the middle of the range, not a great place to be. But let's go take a look at what makes it bullish. Currently, it's very bullish. What's the reason for that? COT and all this data over here. Okay, fine. So here, you could track this and start saying, well, what causes change? Do fundamentals start changing? Popping in, popping in, popping in, popping in. And then the COT data change? That's probably what's going to happen, right? Why would the COT data change before the fundamentals change? So as you start paying attention to that, you can start seeing the change from strong buy to neutral to bear, to strong bear, right? Because, things have to go up and down, right? Cool. But right now, it all seems hundreds. So you can line it up accordingly. We've got USD CAD over here. Well, of course, you're not going to trade it because it's currently neutral. You're not going to do anything with that. But if price came down to, say, support, fantastic. Or if you bought it last week at the bottom of the range, fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. So let's take a look. USD CAD, strong buy. Now you can see there's a score of 6. That tells you that there's one less item that's currently bullish on USD CAD. Let's take a look and see. Okay, inflation. Interesting. So you can start watching this and you can say, well, does this move up and down? Sorry, does this move up and down? Right? Does USD CAD stay here? Does that become a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, neutral, a -1, a -2, etc., etc.? Okay, cool. But right now, it's still a strong buy. Let's take a look. Huh. Already broken out of this range. But you have still got the bottom of the range over here. Wicks count. You're still at the bottom of the range. So if you are a bull on USD CAD, as per QuantBox, and you're at the bottom of the range, as per technicals, all you have to do now is line that up on a lower time frame chart. So what you're looking for over here is break that, pull back buy, or break this, pull back buy, or break this, pull back buy. Okay. And it could be a case of this drops one more time. It could be like a sort of just a massive drop, long candle, and then after that, boop, boop, up it goes. Okay, that's possible. You can see here, like out of position on the daily time frame for sure, absolutely. But yesterday's candle did close at the support over here. Okay, if it goes down and continues going down, you won't get a higher high, higher low in M15 time frame. Okay, if price makes a higher high but fails to make a higher low, you won't buy it. You buy the higher low, not the higher high. You don't buy down here when you get resistance. So it's very easy. This gives you an idea of what could possibly happen. This verifies it. Okay, and it's all in line with your fundamental bias of bullish. Gold. We've looked at gold a few times. Take a look at profit-taking zones and stuff previously. Okay, gold. Where are we? I see we're still here, hey? So now we can say, okay, well, I'm in a profit-taking zone. What could change gold fundamentally? Let's look at gold. So, some more data here. Okay, you could say, well, I want to start tracking this incoming news. Take a look over here. What affects the US dollar? What affects the score chart summary? How does it affect the overall score? And can that result in me getting into a shorter trade? Okay, you see, a bit more intelligent than just taking like, okay, it's bullish bearish, I'm going to buy, sell. You can really get detailed on this. So start thinking about, what you're doing with this data. Okay, cool. So let's continue. Kiwi CAD. Okay, Kiwi CAD. Red, green. So we're saying, could this come down? Where's Kiwi CAD right now? Let's go take a look. Way down here. Currently ranging, not great. Not a profit taking zone, kind of just sitting inside here. You had a buy last night at 8 o'clock, bottom of the range. And we're currently bullish on Kiwi CAD. So if you were paying attention to your charts yesterday, then you would have seen price coming down to the bottom of the range. Okay. On M15, you can see you had price come up. You haven't had a higher low yet, though. In terms of price formally forming a higher low, we kind of got this over here. Okay. Which is fine. So what do you wait for now? You can't buy it over here. You have to wait for this to complete a higher high, complete a higher low, then continue up. Okay. That's your plan. Okay. And what you'll do is, if that happens, the price does come up and come down and sort of form something over there, then you go in M5, make sure that's the same thing over there. Okay. And M1, make sure it's the same. And when I say same thing, I mean that you don't have lower lows and lower highs in M5 or M1. That they've got higher highs and higher lows across the board. Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay, Kiwi yen, Aussie yen, pound yen, CAD yen. Okay. We had a few that were neutral yesterday. Actually, now they've moved across. That's interesting. I could take a look. Aussie yen coming through sell. COT data neutral. Now that's interesting. Okay, you got to be careful of that because you want to make sure you're buying with the big boys. So be careful of that. Let's go take a look at the chart. Oh, do you know what I mean? We spoke about this yesterday. And yesterday at 8 o'clock, price comes up to the bottom of the range, comes down. Look at your M15 time frame. Notice how yesterday, let's go H4, let's get that line. $15, look at that. So price, look at this, it's beautiful. Price comes up, hits that resistance, comes down, doesn't make a lower high. Comes down, doesn't make a lower high. Comes down, doesn't make a lower high. Okay. At no point did 21 cross the 55. At no point you've got lower, lower, lower high. You would never have sold it off the bottom of that range. Would have avoided losing money. Look how beautiful that is, eh? Price action, baby. Moving averages, baby. So now price is breaking up into here. And you can see we're currently coming back inside this range. H4. Now you got a bias of bearish to COT data is neutral. Be careful. Right? Where's the institutional money? This is very important. The COT data is very important. Even though it's presenting sell, I would still say my view on this is neutral to bearish because of this. So what I would do is I would wait until this presents something meaningful. Look at CAD yen. CAD yen, same thing, right? Look at that. Look at that, 0. Okay, let's take a look. CAD yen. You can see there, like we were right down to the bottom of the profit-taking zone here. And also price comes up, the bottom of this range, just shoots straight through. Now let's look and see, on this M15 time frame, would you have bought this? Sorry, would you have sold this? Let's take a look. We go into this little bottom of the range cutie over here. Let's do this. That's the 4-hour time frame. It's kind of the closed 21 EMA. Over there. So we got second M15. Nope. Look at that. No lower, low, lower, high. No lower, low, lower, high. No 21 below 55. Nothing. You never would have sold that. Isn't that beautiful? Verification. Price comes up inside, back inside the range. You got that. So you say, okay, well, that feels technically neutral, even though it says sell. What over here? COT data. So look at our euro yen. Okay, now euro yen's got COT data of 2, but you got a whole bunch of reasons why it shouldn't be neutral. Okay. What needs to change? Well, I need more green or more red. Okay. I either need everything to go in line with COT data or COT data to change and be in line with everything else. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on your news. Okay. Pound yen. This one's pretty solid, right? Except for the COT data. Let's look at pound yen. Uh-huh. Let's take a look. You see, it's quite a mess here. All right, so definitely ranging, and the range isn't even that nicely structured. Definitely looking for like a lower low, lower high in a scenario where you can tell direction. Right now, moving averages flat, day time frame flat. I'd leave this alone. What are you going to do with the technically? Where are you going to sell? You're going to sell top of the range? You're going to sell over here? 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 Cool. Wait for price to get there then. And when price does, look on the M15 time frame, lower, low, lower, high. Okay, and verify it on the time frames too. Kiwi yen, sell, COT data, 0. The pound yen, COT data, 0. Isn't that helpful, guys? Okay, you know what you're waiting to see change. Beautiful. If you don't have that data and this nice score chart summary, you would have no idea. Right? Cool. So let's look and see. This is now Kiwi yen. Look where it is. Profit taking zone. Not a fan, eh? Again, price came up. Bottom of the range. Came down. Let's look at that chart M15. No, lower, low, lower, high. Check how price comes down. Pulls back to 21. Okay. You can look at E now. Let's say that happened, right? So price comes back 21 EMA. You're on the M15 time frame. Like, okay, cool. There's my lower high. I'm going to sell. Well, what you would do is you go to the M5. You'd say, okay, cool. M5, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high. Oh, no, lower, low, lower, high. So M15 is saying lower, low, lower, high, but M5 isn't. And if M5 did, go to M1 and see if M1 says it as well. If it is bearish, you'll have lower lows and lower highs across the board. Very, very helpful. Eh? So that means you would not have sold this over here. Price now breaking back into this range. I'm not interested. Leaving it alone. What else we got here, friends? Let's see. That's the yens. We've got some Swissies. Look at our Swissies. Aussie Swissy and CAD Swissy. And you can go look at the score chart summary on your QuantBox and go see what it is. So Aussie Swissy, CAD Swissy can take a look. Bearish. Aussie Swissy, CAD Swissy. Ah, that's not a very nice indication of lower low, lower high. Looks like we're now currently coming down. We're coming up. Oh boy. So breaking 21 EMAs. If you see this, the thing is like this is not a lower low. It's not lower than this low. Okay. This is currently bearish, so you can't buy it. So selling it off 21 EMA, you wouldn't do that because you can see there's no lower high here. Okay. So when you sell it, I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure what it's doing right now. I'm not sure what it's doing. It doesn't make any sense. If I want to sell it, I want to see the resistance. And this over here is not a resistance. So I got to wait for it to be at resistance before I can sell anything. So I'll wait for that. Let's look at the next FTSE. The next FTSE is the CAD FTSE. Yeah, same story. Same story, different version. Both of them are true. But Aussie Kiwi. No. Terribly out of position and horrible little range. Not that desperate. Not desperate at all, actually. And then strong sell Aussie dollar USD. Let's look. Aussie dollar USD. Yeah, don't even talk to me about that. What is this nonsense? Oh, I think what the point of today's lesson is really a case of these breakdowns over here. Okay. You look at Aussie USD over here. What's the problem? Why is Aussie USD just like ranging? What's the fundamental reason? Let's see if we can find it on QuantBox. I mean, we've got everything saying red. So that means the market must be waiting for some news. Okay. So you can go investigate that in your news, upcoming news. What's going on in the USA? What's going on in Australia? And if you can't find a clear reason, it's probably got something to do with interest rates, central banks, you know, the stuff that's going on in the world. So once you've got that information, pay attention to an indication of change on Aussie dollar USD, i.e. a break of the range. Okay. You can see 21 EMA not dropping down, not dropping down, not dropping down, not dropping down. But no higher low on the daily time frame either. So this has not been broken. Technically still bearish, but structurally not. So you're looking for that lower low, lower high. Or for price to close at resistance. And those things might just tie up with the fundamental data you're waiting for out of Australia or the USA. It's a powerful tool, my friends. It's a very powerful tool, especially if you use it properly. Especially pay attention to the right data in the right way, and you know what you're waiting for. It's always easy to wait for something when you know what you're waiting for. QuantBox gives you that information. Technically, all you got to do is line it up and verify it downstream and be patient and disciplined and remain liquid. Have an amazing day, friends. See you tomorrow.